Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, and it is our open mic night. Why is it open mic? Because there's nothing like the feeling you get when you set your time for a stream at a certain time, and you sit down and you start to fire off that go live button, and your phone starts to show up with every other alert. Watch live now, the EXP. Watch live now, Geronimo Draws. Watch live now, Black Rose Comics. And I'm like, prime time. This is when we got to be here. So, yes, I told you who I am. I just want you all to know that I am wearing pants today, and they are on frontwards, which apparently can be a thing, according to the news I've been watching today. Didn't know you could put them on backwards. I like that zipper where it is. First of all, the zipper's not big enough to do any business in the back anyway. I never even got that whole back flap business you used to see drawn on pants. I was like, no. Pants go on frontwards all the time. I don't care if you be president or not. They're just some conventions you don't break. Open mic night means that anything can happen, and I think I've proven that already. So we're going to bring in people already in the back room. We have Mike Walters from the mic stand. Mike, how are you doing today?
All right, how about yourself? I'm going to go off camera for a quick sec because I'm trying to see if I can reduce that glare a bit. So
turn your pants around while you're at it, okay?
Yeah, right.
And we also have Will from Creators Outlet. Will, welcome to the show tonight, man.
Who the hell wears pants?
You know, if I got up during, in any of my daily Zoom meetings, it would be me in my dress shirt, sometimes with my tie, always with my work badge, and a pair of plaid shorts that just kind of pull on with elastic waistbands. So I'm always very careful not to have to get up for anything during my Zoom meetings without first, sliding the thing closed and then sliding it back open.
Oh, yeah. Unless you work for CNN, you do something you're not supposed to be doing on camera. You go, well, I muted it.
Yeah. Me too. Hashtag me tubing.
Yeah. Hashtag me zooming.
Yeah. Oh, that was interesting.
Okay, so I don't even know where the glare is coming from then.
It's just reflection off the wall now.
I did get a little bit better there at least.
It gives you this whole.
I think now I'm beginning to see where.
It's giving you this angelic effect, Mike. So you just kind of look like whatever you say is coming from down. From on high. So there are lots of things to talk about. First of all, I'm going to talk about the most important. Who's got radio playing?
Oh, that's me. Hold
on. I couldn't hear me. so usually I'm like, yeah, background noise, it's fine. But I've got to hear me. I'm going to talk about the most important stuff, and of course that's the stuff that happens to me. I think I've just demonstrated that I'm that narcissistic too. We got deliveries this week. I think we've talked before about the shipping business that we're in and how we're going to, offer to our clients these little bags here that your Gemini mailer can slip right into and seal over so that, hey, guess what? If the postman leaves it on your doorstep and it's raining, not that any postman would ever do that, ever, in the history of deliveries. But if they did, it would be protected. And of course, it would have a logo on it. We got bags in the mail. We've got, about 300 bags with the logo for the Embrace on it. So we are ready to package and ship those. And we got our bags for Red Eyes number 2. So we are ready to receive those, and they're just perfectly fitted to that Gemini mailer. It's the Gemini mailer was a half inch wider, it wouldn't fit, but these things are snug tight to it, and yeah, they're going to look cool. I mean, look, when this arrives on your doorstep, your address will be back here. You're going to pick this up. You're going to say, "Oh, I know what's in this. I'm going to get my camera ready for an unbagging video." That's what we hope, anyway. And then, we'd be happy to offer that service to any other clients that sign up for our distribution deals. But okay, so that's what's happening on the home front. We have other news happening, though, and gosh, I wish John Delarose was here to talk about it. Apparently, he won a lawsuit against WorldCon and got an apology out of them for them alleging, which is, legalese for outright calling him a Nazi, and he won $4,000. So I don't know if 4,000 is enough, but apparently it satisfied John, and he's like, "I'll take it."
That sounds pretty cool.
Oh. And yeah, Robert, that is a victory for the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction. So what else is going on? Will, what's going on in your world over there at Creators Outlet? You're still on mute. You're still on mute.
There's me not listening again. I'm just relaxing on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, I hear you. George Peter Gatsis is on the line. George, how are things over there in the Blue Muppet land?
I'm very distressed.
Well, it's been a very distressing week for some folks. I've seen some things go on other live streams that have made me just decide to sit back for a while and do my own thing.
Oh.
I hope that wasn't the case when you came over to mine.
No, I was okay with your stream. All you were doing was reading comics. I could take some more read some comics out loud streams all day long. That would be actually
yeah. Well,
fun.
that's what I've been doing. That's part of what I've been doing when I've been covering the comics history. I'll maybe give a little summary of some stuff going. Try to give the historical context, and then as a sample, I'll read some of those comics. What we're talking about is my Friday night live streams, which my co-host Bacto and I have been going over, kind of going like month by month, company by company.
Hey, can I say something?
I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have to say something. Damn you, Lunga. Damn you.
Where's Lunga? Is Lunga in the
Damn
chat?
you, Lunga.
Oh, okay, George. I don't know where Lunga's at. I know where he'll be next week. Well, wait a second. If we're talking about Darth Daddy Lunga, he's going to have a show on here in a couple of weeks. Yeah, he'll be here next Wednesday with Isadora. What did he do to you, George? Come on. I know you're too well for this.
Well, the trash compactor got a new co-host. I was in line for the running, after Sword Rage left. And they brought in some guy named Simple Jack. Are you kidding me? They got a guy named Simple Jack. Gosh.
So you thought you were going to be like you're be the new the heir apparent to Jay Leno? You were going to be the David Letterman to
they David Letterman me. Letterman me.
Yeah. Okay. You've been Letterman.
I've been Letterman
out of the trash compactor show. Do you feel like you lost anything?
I lost the last of my dignity.
I think we can find it.
I would think you would have lost the last of your dignity if you got the job on the trash compactor.
Well, here.
This is bullshit, you guys. His name is Soy Jack. What the hell is wrong?
I just testified. Are you gonna be okay, Tessa?
Soy Jack. His theme is Soy Jack.
Okay, so
Oh,
By
God.
the way,
It's like
Mike,
you two are
I'm
acting
gonna
like
be
a
here
couple
in a
of
minute.
toy boys.
he's gonna be here in a minute. I didn't take him out that time. He took himself out. It's gonna be.
I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
be,
Well, maybe because he didn't like what I just said. Did you hear what I just said?
I lost it in the yelling. Sorry.
I basically was very jokingly saying that he and George right here were acting like a couple of toy boys.
Yeah, well, there is drama going on another channel, and there have been two guys who have done a really good comedy show together, at the Trash Compactor show, and they have had a falling out, and I'm just going to let the fall continue to fall, and I'm going to just kind of sort of watch it. Not going to get involved in either way. One of them writes for our site, so I'm like, I'm probably going to take his side a little bit more on things, especially given some of the stuff I've seen written and copied out of Discords, which is why I don't go in Discord. It's called Discord for a reason. I have never seen anything good come out of Discord.
Okay, RJ, but you have to remember, Discord has, I think, two meanings, right? There's Discord in which, how you verbally go back and forth to people. That's sometimes called Discord. Yeah. There's also Discord, and I think the Discord you're meaning, of course, is when there's a little bit of friction between two parties.
Yeah, when two people talk together, there's discourse.
Discourse, yeah.
Yeah, Discord is when the goddess Eris has 3 golden apples and says, "I'll give these to the prettiest. Who is it?" And then makes the
not me
all fight.
Yeah.
So, but George, you're keeping your nose clean on that one.
Oh no, I'm watching this with a great amusement.
Yeah, I figured that. Did you see our bags? Did you see the bags come in?
I'm shocked. I tell you, shocked. It's like you're like an actual legit company doing good work.
It's almost like that. It's down to the point where it's been like months and months of talking and crunching numbers and talking with people online and consulting. And now all of a sudden there's like physical product in hand. I'm like, this is no longer
where are the Ziploc bags?
I gotta go down to the Piggly Wiggly and get the quart size ones. They were out of them, and I got to fold the comic a little bit to fit them into the.
Hey RJ, it looks like you got a little message here from somebody named Simple Jack in the chat.
Well, that's George. Hello, George. Hello, Georger. My chat.
The guy is so simple. He can't even get my name right.
Uh oh.
Hail Corgi.
Okay, that's it. I'm out of here.
Hi, Critical Boy.
Oh,
You see that, guys? George is afraid of me.
I saw
try
that.
to help him out. I try to promote him onto the show. I take his position, and he runs and talks crap on other shows.
Well, George likes to come over here and complain about how he's mistreated over there at the Trash Compactor. Is it still the Trash Compactor?
Yes, with Simple Jack.
Okay, I didn't know if you guys were going to rebrand or something.
Never. How you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
Your pants on forward tonight?
Pardon?
Are your pants on forward tonight?
Maybe.
Thank you very much. I'll check them. Let me check.
It's apparently a thing.
Yeah, let me check. No, they're inside out. My bad.
Oh, inside out's good. As long as the zipper's in front. You got.
Yeah, the zipper's in front, but yeah, my pockets are funny.
Yeah, I say the zippers belong in front, but actually that's a pretty delicate place for the zipper to be if you've ever, got anything.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Franks and beans.
Franks and beans. How's this show going tonight?
Well, it was halfway dead for a little bit there, but I think we're about to put it in the ground. It's pretty much a corpse now. We've
I don't know. Will hasn't said much, and then I kind of started telling him, but then George came in, and he kind of took over a little bit, so we kind of just let him run with it a little bit. So
Yeah, it's a chaos show. I understand that there's a rumor now that in Justice League 2 they are looking to cast John Jones with a yet to be named Asian actress. And this is perfectly canon because John Jones has appeared to different people in different forms throughout the entire comics, at least in 2 comic books. So if you've read the comics, then you would know that it's okay.
well, I think though what you have to understand. I think though in part of that though with the thing about John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, what you have to kind of remember too. Granted, he is depicted as male overall, but you have to also remember one of his powers is the ability to shapeshift.
Mike,
So he could.
Mike, you're taking me literally. You're taking me literally. I'm being sarcastic about the death casting on Netflix. Have you seen the?
Well, we know what Netflix is all about, don't we?
Yeah, and we've seen Death. Death has been cast with a with an I'm almost that African American actress, but she's in England, so it can't be true. A black actress, and apparently that's all the uproar because she doesn't look like the character, at least not without makeup yet. She might.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about there because I've also covered that story. I covered that story a couple of times this week. Read about that a little bit.
Yes. And
I think the biggest part of the uproar in that is really comes from Neil Gaiman, because the thing is that Gaiman initially depicted the characters one way in the comics, and now they're going with the
But no, he's presented her at least 3 different ways in the comics. Granted, now there's like 1,057 panels where she looks like this thin, pale goth girl, but there was that one panel where she appeared as something else. Therefore, everything is on the table. There was one book out of 75 where Death appeared as a Muslim. So, or not Death, Dream appeared as Muslim. So, it could be anything.
But I think though, for the most part, even if you do have, and granted, you're talking about supernatural beings that can show up in any various forms too.
Yeah, but if they're going to
a supernatural being, you can change your appearance any way you want. The only thing is that I think a lot of the fans are used to a particular way that they're presented.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been sold as being presented. And, when you change it up, like, and a lot of what's fueling this too is all this, diversity stuff going on, diversity talk, we gotta diversify the characters. Therefore, we gotta change them up. We gotta change them up drastically. We gotta make sure all the check marks are marked, and I think
she was branded a specific way. I mean, she wasn't just a character in a comic book. They've done statues, they've done T-shirts, they've done posters. This would be like if they did Superman, a new Superman movie, and forget the fact that they're talking about a black actor for Superman. This is like if they did Superman as a white guy with a spit curl, but they've done away with the cape and his costume is now lilac.
Oh wow!
It's off-brand.
Yeah,
it's not the visual representation. I'm going to stop for a second because we had our first ever super sticker. I wish I knew what it looked like. I'd have to be on YouTube to see it. Thank you so much.
I was gonna bring that to your attention because I noticed that. I was gonna bring that to your attention that was up there.
I need
unicorn.
I need a second set of eyes. Hey, Skiddly Bop there, Jeff.
Skiddly Bop. I want to show you something why I think this Neil Gaiman Sandman thing's kind of a bad take.
What do we got?
This is what Sandman. This is actually the second version of Sandman.
That is the second version of Sandman. You're right.
You're talking about the Vertigo Sandman being the second version of Sandman?
Nope. The Vertigo Sandman would be the third.
Technically, it'd be the fourth if you want to count Marvels.
So the Netflix would be at least the fourth.
Yeah.
all of Neil
Well,
Gaiman's
'cause
stuff.
I do. Yeah, I know about the Golden Age Sandman, Wesley Dodds. I'm very well versed in him, and then I know his sidekick Sandy eventually took on the role of Sand, but Sandy as Sandman, or Sand as he eventually became known, was a little bit different than
Yeah.
Wesley Dodds.
But this was not Wesley Dodds. This was another Sandman. And didn't they make this one? They made it with Hector Hall, didn't they? In the Neil Gaiman run.
Yeah, a lot of the characters in this Jack Kirby Sandman are in the Neil Gaiman Sandman.
Yeah, Brute and Glob were definitely in there. The two Nightmare characters.
And Daniel and Lyta.
I think it's pronounced Lita, but
Well, it doesn't matter. But he retrofitted he retrofitted Fury and Silver Scarab into the Sandman story, and he totally encapsulated the entire run of that Sandman into a single issue where Hector Hall had been trapped in the Dreamland and thought he was Sandman. And it was really Brute and Glob controlling him the whole time. I think it was very early on in the run, too, when Dream was trying to get his helm back.
Well, what I'm saying is, if we had today's sort of outrage thing going, they would, in 1989, they would have said, oh my God, Neil Gaiman is ruining Jack Kirby's Sandman.
Yeah, but again, when Neil Gaiman introduced Sandman, he wasn't introducing this Sandman. It was a totally new character. And they're not introducing a totally new Death. They're trying to say, yeah, this is the character you've always known and loved in the books. And she just looks different here. And by the way, it's not even as if she's presenting differently because we're telling a new story. We're adapting one of the regular stories, but you didn't see her, and you didn't see her this way in that story, but you're going to see her this way now because she can.
I don't have a problem with it. Every Neil Gaiman story is a deconstruction of something old, and this is just another one.
I love Neil Gaiman's comics. I think he has a worse track record at having his work adapted to film than Stephen King does. That atrocity that was Stardust, I watched that once. I can never watch it again. I can read the book multiple times, but I've never watched that movie again.
Well, following in the footsteps of Alan Moore his whole career, so they've done that to Alan Moore also.
Oh yeah, they have. I mean, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, for one thing, that was just an abortion. Yeah.
RJ, Mike, Will, Jazz Crab. I'm gonna go back to the chat. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Phil.
all right.
Yeah. Oh, but we're not done.
Hi guys. Hi.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Well,
Grab a spade, testify.
Grab a spade and paddle.
Hail. Hale.
Hale. You're doing Hardy. Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. We don't hail here.
Hail.
We ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. That's because we're not at war with anybody. So
I'm not war. Who am I at war with?
I don't know if you're at war with anybody, but the people who are at war with people usually yell out the hail thing.
I said hail. Hale. No, there's a difference between Hale and Hail.
Like
Hail to your leader.
Yeah, like Alan Hale. Yeah, like the skipper.
Okay, but I'm not going to be Gilligan tonight.
So how are you doing, Testify? I mean, you've had an interesting week.
What have I had?
I don't know, but all I know is I tune over and people are yelling at you. Which
that's all the time. That's technically all the time, but
I mean, you've apparently gone on record as saying bad things about people, which again is all the time. But
who are you referring to?
Well, we could talk about the soy rage thing, but
do you want me to talk about soy rage?
If you want to talk about,
let's go there. Ask me any question you would like about Stupendous, aka Morgan Marshall. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Why did you, in writing, call him a child predator?
In a private Discord, there was a conversation that was had where things that Morgan Marshall, aka Soy Rage, aka Stupendous, whatever you want to put out now, right now. Well, since you want to do this, we'll do it. Let's do it. Let's get it
You're
out there.
Here
we
let's
go.
do it.
I'm going to do it. Stupendous has had a history of dealing with somebody that I honestly feel puts out stuff that I think should not go out to children.
Okay.
Being Preston Poulter,
Now,
being John Lamont,
I know
and he
that-
has actively supported them for years now. Both of them. Those two individuals specifically. Your friend, Stupendous, Morgan Marshall, Soy Rage, whatever you want to call him, that's who he is.
But they're publishing books.
They're publishing books of underage smut.
John is now. What's
No. Here's the thing: you're missing out of all of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it very clear. John Lamont is. Preston Poulter is funding John Lamont.
That was my question, and that was why Preston Poulter has filed the lawsuit against Vicky Bush and EBS and DA Talks because they said that John,
EBS, Ethan Van Sciver, Victoria, and Dean. Let's use their real names because that's what it is. They don't want to hear it if they want to talk about it like that. But this is what they don't like right now. I'm being 100% honest with you. That's the truth of the matter.
okay, but here's the thing, because you're a smart guy.
I am.
You're a very intelligent guy. Why
Mm-hmm.
in the world
Mm-hmm.
would you, in writing, private or not,
Mm-hmm.
make a statement that says you are a child predator like Preston Poulter, knowing that he's already filed a lawsuit, knowing he's litigious as fuck?
Because there was a lot of other stuff said, and when you're typing, because this is why I don't like to type, and I hate text. I think you even heard me tell you that. I hate talking. I hate typing. Talk in voice. If you're going to do it, talk in voice. It came out in text because I was forced to. This was how many hours of a conversation?
I don't know. I only saw
Wait,
screenshots.
get your facts straight before you talk about it.
Doesn't matter. One
8
sentence is all
plus
that needs.
hours.
Yes.
What did they accuse me of?
I don't know. What did they accuse you of?
The same thing.
So if I were to go through the entire chat, if I had access to it, I would find someone saying, "Testify, you are a child predator."
Yes, even Nasser Rabati came on Well-Read Users stream and called him and me publicly on there on behalf of Vicky, Soy Rage, Stu, Morgan Marshall, your friend,
And
a child predator. Those
so
exact words.
So he came
Those
on
exact
stream and
words.
said, "On behalf of these people, I am calling you a child predator."
He did.
Are you suing him?
No.
Why not?
Why? Why?
I
Well,
don't-
you do have a right to
I
sue
don't
him.
get overly offended over stupid shit. Think about it. You should know. I'm pretty sure. I think you understand my personality. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm like, you could call me a murderer, and I'll be like, where'd I do it? Did I help you with it? Did we make sure we was clean after? It's just something like that. What do you want to do?
There is. Everyone has a line, and there's always a point of something that you can call somebody that's going to be over that line and break.
The only way anyone would know exactly what you just said, again, and I'm trying to use this as an educational moment for people right now, a teaching moment. Let me use Oz's words. A teaching moment to everybody. The only way you would have ever known those words were ever said, they leaked them to you from a private Discord.
Actually, I saw them from a private Discord after you had a whole show about them for 5 hours.
Where did I say that all those things? I didn't. Go watch back. Seriously, go watch back.
It was coming up in the chat, and in fact, I do recall that because you had to correct Simple Jack because he said that you.
You mean the new co-host that I searched for hours and hours to replace Soy Rage?
Yes.
The guy that I'm like the guy that nobody could replace. I've already found it. His name is Soy Jack.
Well,
he's a beautiful guy, and you know it too. The thing is, what are you doing, RJ? Come on,
I'm saying that it was on your own show where they said, "Well, you didn't have to call Soy Rage a pedophile," and you yourself said,
no, right? What you just said right there. I have never admitted those words. I never typed those words either.
I know. And where I was going with the second clause of that sentence was where you corrected them and said that you had never called him that. And emphasized that your words were incorrect. You called him a child predator.
Never would call somebody unless they are a pedophile.
Which is exactly what you said on the show, that you would never do that. And that was where I first saw that you corrected them and said, I specifically called him a child predator. And I remember that was
associated with what I consider a child predator. Until you're a pedophile when you're accused and convicted of doing stuff with children. When you put out
for
smut,
just one moment here.
Wait 1 second. When you put out smut that is literally children fucking in comics, I'm sorry, I have an issue with that.
I have an issue with John's work as well, and yes, it's very much what they call lolly friendly.
My question also is, why has your friend Morgan Marshall, Soy Rage, Stupendous 989, the guy that works for your criticalblast.com?
Yep,
that guy,
and still does.
It does still. That's fine. He could do it all day long. I don't want him to get him fired or anything. But what's he getting paid anyway? A CD or DVD?
Same I do.
Okay. But I'm just trying to tell you, why does he interact with these people? Why? He wants to. He wants to be part of that place.
Well,
we
have this First Amendment thing that unfortunately gives people the right to associate with whomever they want.
No. You think what you're missing? What you're missing out of all this is years of everybody telling Stu, you're insane. Stop listening. Stop going around with this crap. Stu, I'm sorry. We don't like this underage shit that you're showing us. Stu, we don't like this frickin' smut you're showing us. Stu, that's underage smut you're showing us from John Lamont and frickin' Preston Poulter, regardless of them wanting to call it barely legal. Is that the terminology?
I don't know what the terminology is. I've not seen
That's what they're trying to use.
Are you saying that
that's what they've used?
Well, first of all, none of those characters are 18 years old until you've drawn them, put them in a drawer, waited 18 years, and pulled them back out.
The article at the top of it says 17. That's not 18.
The article at the top. Okay, you're talking about where they describe who the characters are in the book.
Yes.
Okay.
They're underage. It's not barely legal. That's illegal.
Yeah, you're right. Barely legal is 18.
The guy that you literally right now are talking about being Soy Rage, Stupendous 989, Morgan Marshall is best friends with the people that put out that smut.
I'm not arguing that it's not smut.
It's smut.
But we've had numerous Supreme Court cases.
It's not that at all.
Excuse me, RJ. You might want to catch some of the chats here. I think some people are saying some pretty interesting stuff. You might want to check the chats a bit.
Well,
what? Mike, do you want to talk about Geeky Pixie?
Oh no, we don't want to talk about Geeky Pixie.
Do you want to? Because we can go there if you want to. I know all your history too. Let's.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Do you really want to go there?
Something testified. There's nothing going on there.
I didn't say there's anything going on, but I know your history.
I don't know anything about history. I know that I was friends with Geeky Pixie. I got taken in by the fact that I thought it was, that she was presenting as who she said she was.
No, it was a man.
Yeah,
It's
I know
not
that.
it's not her. It was a guy.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. When I see a female face, I put the female pronouns to it. So
no,
and that's the face I've always
it
seen.
was a man. Everybody has seen it now.
Yeah.
You guys
And
are
he's
talking
back.
about a man.
He's back. Yeah.
And what is it? He's under another name? Are you following him, Mike?
There are two Geeky Pixies I know of. The one that
Okay.
you are talking about, and then there's another one.
The
who actually
one
is
where
a
you
female.
were on a stream with the person that has now been outed as the person that catfished all of you. That guy. No, I'm talking about that one specific. Do you want to? I'm just trying to show you what is with you guys.
What?
Well,
Where
what's
did this
with you?
conversation
You
go?
seem to be more obsessed about it than anybody here. You
No,
seem
I'm
to be
just
the one with
pointing
the
it out to
problem.
all of you. I'm going to point it out. Yeah, you are a male that does whatever you want to do, and you're perfectly able to. If you want to support them, but we saw what you said and the things you did with Geeky Pixie on live streams before, and now you got to live with it. You did it.
Okay.
When exactly? Well, okay, I've only been on one live stream with Geeky Pixie, and that
we've
one.
Seen, oh, come on, Mike! Don't make me do this to you.
I've only been on one live stream with Geeky Pixie.
Mike, don't make me do it to you.
And it wasn't the one you're thinking of.
Mike.
I think you're the one who's confused, dude.
Yeah.
Did you talk to a man on the internet that faked this woman and frickin' whacked off to it? Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, we're not going to have anybody. Nobody's going to come on here and threaten any of our guests or try to embarrass them unduly. We were going to have a decent conversation here, strictly about the facts and what were being printed and what was being said. And anybody can look that up now. It's all going to become public.
I honestly don't know what the guy's issue was there, because I have absolutely no freaking clue what the guy was even talking about. I mean, I've heard a little bit about Preston Poulter. I've heard a little bit about that stuff, but I don't pay attention to that crap because, it's other people's business. It's like, I don't really know what's going on. I've heard tidbits here and there, but it's not something I get into.
Well, Geeky Pixie was somebody who was a guy who was presenting pictures on Twitter, had a huge following, used face filters to basically put a female face on his body, and was getting was getting people in live streams, I believe specifically Twitch streams, but was doing the masking there to basically getting off on guys thinking that she was a girl.
As far as I know, there are like two Geeky Pixies.
They're both the same.
Okay.
Running two different accounts.
Okay. There's one Geeky Pixie that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, that was the one who got outed. They found that it was a guy. And it's
there was another one that I do believe was a girl, because I've talked to her on Twitter a little bit when I was still on Twitter, but the most recent thing I was on with her was like about a month or so ago, where she was doing in fact, maybe one of these days I'll even if she does another, because she had been for a few weeks there about a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Where like every week she was getting together with people and she was doing like going through news items and stuff like that. But
well, this one tried to go do live streams to up her game some, and thought that they could use the technology. And like Tatsunami's here saying, so wait till you hear the voice. They did it badly, and it was basically their downfall and their outing that, this is really a man who's been presenting as a female all this time to the comic book and gaming community. And if you want to present it that way, fine. It's if people like that, fine. Just don't lie to us. Testify has it's a bit. His whole bit is internet drama, and if there's not anything going on, and there hasn't been anything going on enough in the community lately, then let's stir something up. And right now he's hot on that. He'll cool off in a while. Probably not tonight.
Yeah,
but...
you might want to go back to some of the comments here, because I think there's some people who were kind of commenting that they weren't even too happy with the line of conversation. Might want to just go back.
Yeah, you murdered that guy. How's this about comics? It's not. It wasn't about comics at all, except for the fact that it was about. Okay, it is about comics, because Preston Poulter is funding a comic written by another guy whose artwork is very young looking, very spicy, very young looking, and yes, according to the textual descriptions, the characters are 17. Now, it's not that well, I don't know if even both the characters are 17, because one of them is a demon, which technically could be 1,000 years old. So yeah, there could be there could have been an age barrier.
Okay,
there,
yeah, that whole argument though. Okay, context matters. So this guy, it sounds like this guy's one of those who's kind of caught up between the legal versus the moral argument of a particular issue.
It's definitely the moral argument of it. And I'm not going to fund the book. I'm not going to get any copies of it because I don't want that in my life. Now I'm going to ask real politely here, testify. Are you going to go after my guests again?
What am I going to go after?
You know what you were doing.
What was I doing?
You were playing testify.
What? Everybody wanted the old testify back. I'm sorry. I'm going to call something out when I see it.
I didn't know the old testify.
I don't even know who the hell you are, dude. I don't even know who the hell you are, or why you would even want
that's what scares the living shit out of you.
Nope. Okay. 24-hour cool off is needed here.
Yeah, RJ, you know something? If this guy is going to be this aggressive with me, I'd just prefer not to deal with him, because
you don't have to.
I think you can. I think even though you haven't known me, long enough, I think you can already tell my personality a little bit. The guy wants to come after me, I'll start firing right back, and if anything, I try to stay out of all that drama myself.
Okay. He said in the private chat that he would like to apologize. And,
I would like to apologize to you, RJ. But
okay.
Mike.
Careful.
Mike. It's not careful. What is this careful crap?
Be polite.
I am polite.
No.
You know I'm polite.
You're direct.
You know I'll do anything to help anybody pretty much out there. But Mike, I'm sorry. We've seen what you do.
Come on. This whole "we know what you did last summer" crap is.
No, it's not that. Do you want me to show it?
No, I don't, because I wouldn't show it.
I'll show it to you if you want me to.
I really don't want to, and I will.
Okay, because it will embarrass the living hell out of Mike Walters. It would embarrass him.
Dude, I have autism, so I'm not exactly.
That's fine. If you have, that is fine. We can tell you have autism. Look how close you are to your damn webcam.
Hey, what are, Mike? I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to know what he's trying to say?
I guess, because apparently he's saying that he knows what I've said on Geeky Pixie stuff. I have been on Geeky Pixie's streams before, on her Twitch streams, and
it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
What? That's rude,
RJ.
Mike.
I'm sorry, RJ.
Mike, that's
I know
rude.
I'm a little
Why
heated
would you
here,
tell
but
me to
this
shut
guy,
the fuck up?
Somebody needs to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Why?
Because you're saying here that I know what you did. I've got the information, and we're not going to wait 5 hours for
Mike. From my perspective,
Mike.
And then you're interrupting me.
Can I? Okay, I'll let you wait. Say your statement, then I'll talk.
Okay, I have been on some of Geeky Pixie's streams before. That is true. I've been on some of her Twitch streams and some of her YouTube streams. In fact, the most recent was like maybe a month or so ago. To my knowledge, there are two Geeky Pixies. There is one that you were referring to who was like faking everybody out, and there was another one who from everything I had seen was legit. The one that I know of, I feel is legit. So, now, the only thing that I've said that could have been construed as anything that could have been anywhere near could have been construed as inappropriate is that I acknowledged that she was an attractive person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen pictures of her, by the way. Okay. I have, now as to this accusation that you're accusing me of.
Well, we don't know. That's just it. We don't know. He's like, it's this whole open-ended, we know what you did and see how you react to it.
He's basically accusing me of for lack of a better term, pleasuring myself on camera, and I have never done that. Nor have I done it in any sense. So
So what is it that you know he has done?
Is he done?
Yeah, we're asking you now. What is it?
I'm making sure. I don't want to talk over him.
I understand. It's I appreciate that.
I let him get everything out. Did I not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Mike, you just admitted to everything I said.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
That he was on the streams?
He went on streams with a guy. Mike, what'd you send Geeky Pixie in DMs? Yeah. Thank you. That face alone.
I remember because
face alone just said everything.
I haven't.
Oh,
okay, dude. RJ.
Yeah.
Okay, testify if you think you have something. Let's see
what
it.
What do I have?
Show it. We don't know. Show it.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is, if you think you have something.
What do I have? And I'm not trying to hurt you.
On me.
No, come on now.
Then let's see it.
Testify.
I'm not trying to hurt you.
Testify. You're pulling testify bullshit.
What about what? Oh, wait a minute. Now, RJ, come on.
Bullshit, testify.
What bullshit am I trying to pull?
If you think you have something on me,
what do I have on you?
Let's
nothing.
I'll tell you what you have on you.
Okay, you just admitted it.
I just said it. Nothing. What are you talking about?
On me.
So, you're sitting here intimating that there are DMs. You're intimating that you have these DMs. You're waiting to see somebody react.
No.
I have nothing. What are you so upset about?
No. Wait.
Yes.
You're missing the part.
Saw it on the street.
You're missing the part.
I'm giving you permission.
Mike Walters, have you sent provocative pictures? Have you sent provocative pictures of yourself to get Geeky Pixel?
No, I did not.
No, are you sure?
No, I did not. I did not.
I'm sure if I remember.
I don't even know how to.
Wait, RJ. Look, RJ.
What?
It's over right there.
Where?
Done.
What?
He just ended it. He said no. Done.
Well, okay, then what was the big deal? Why were you acting like he had...
It was. That's why I'm laughing. Why you guys have exploded?
Why are you acting like he had done this? Because you're the one who threw the dynamite and walked away saying, "What was that?"
What dynamite? No, I was kicked. You kicked me. You kicked me, RJ. I didn't. I didn't throw dynamite and leave. It was you kicked me. Did you not? RJ, did you kick me?
School there that
RJ, did you kick me?
Twice.
Yes.
That was the going away, but that was not the throwing of the dynamite. The throwing of the dynamite was still you, and you're still trying to explain. You're still trying to pretend. What was that explosion noise?
Here's the thing, Mike. I don't give a shit about anything you do. Honestly, I don't care.
Then
whatever you do with women or whatever men you talk to online, it's fine. I don't care.
Apparently,
have fun with it.
You brought it up. You came in here and told somebody that you knew what they had done.
I'm sorry. I got brought in over the Soy Rage drama. Morgan Marshall, stupendous 989. I got brought in on it.
So why didn't you stick with
that?
Your
friend, the guy that works for you, went back to war campaign. What do you want to do, RJ? You can't be for something and then literally because your friend that works for you, you're just going to support him now. The guy you were so against war campaign and was campaign, which they are. You are. You said you are. You know you have been.
So you're saying the press
No. I'm telling you, your friend, stupendous 989, Morgan Marshall from Michigan.
Let's slow the roll.
Soy Rage. He's back with Was Campaign.
Okay.
What do you want?
I have blocked War Campaign on an individual basis.
But here's the thing. You were the one that has come in and talked to us even about your issues with Was Campaign and War Campaign.
Absolutely.
And now a person that works technically, I guess, for you.
Yeah. I mean, technically,
is part of it again.
Okay. Then he chose to go back to War Campaign. When he starts acting like a war campaigner,
you now support Was Campaign.
No. You make
it's there. You do it.
You make these logical leaps all the time.
How is I did that?
Because a guy who works with my site, whom I'm friends with, went to some company or went to a company.
No. Went to individuals being Rocketeer, Get Hanzo, Man of Sex, aka I forgot what the fuck his name is. Matt Hansen, Panboy.
Yeah.
Went back to them. Black Daddy, I forgot what his name is right now. Mr. I work at CVS Pharmacy. That's him. He went back to him. And now you are an employer of the Was Campaign.
So you want me to gatekeep?
Do you support Was Campaign?
No, of course not.
Well, apparently you do.
Why would you say that's a supporting of War Campaign?
Let's see. Do you not have the guy on your site that now supports it? That literally is on Twitter talking about it?
Right on, Jazz.
You've got three levels of association here, and you're basically playing six degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon here. It's
No, I'm not.
Somebody
just answer me the question. Do you support Was Campaign?
Of course not.
Do you support War Campaign?
Not them either.
Do you support Morgan Marshall?
Yes.
Okay, same thing. There you go. They're one and the same.
Do you support Hitler?
No, not at all.
Do you support Mengele?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Do you think Dr. Mengele? Do you support Werner Braun?
Yes.
He was a Nazi. Therefore,
no, he wasn't. He was a German.
No.
That's what he was.
No, he was a Nazi, but he was a Nazi that we could use to build rockets. And because you support him, you now support Hitler.
No, that's not what it is.
You heard about it. Testify supports Hitler. Let it be
Mike, do you need a new bottle of lotion?
Hey.
Did he just take a shot at me?
He took a shot at you for no reason, because you know why he took a shot at you? Because he was getting nailed and hammered, and he fucking knew it.
RJ, don't bring him back, please. Don't bring him back. This guy just sounds like one big drama headache.
Yeah,
no,
he was getting nailed, and he does what he does every time that he knows he's getting nailed. He throws another stick of dynamite in another direction. Says, "Oh, this one's over. Go over there." Yeah, no, not playing.
This is the kind of BS why I got off of Twitter to begin with, because guys like him push my buttons to the point to where it takes everything I got to maintain control.
Yep. That's not going to play.
It's a very primal and very visceral reaction. He's not worth the time of getting that angry to where you'd even consider taking things to any kind of extreme.
I know.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, he can make. It's sad. It saddens me because he can make cogent points, and he can help people, and he's helped people in the past. I've seen it, but there's something going on this week that has triggered him, and he's kind of gone off the rails. I don't know if somebody's got something on him, and he's freaking out, but whatever it is, I wish him the best of luck.
I don't really care. I don't even know the guy. This is the first time I've ever talked to him. I don't want to talk to him.
I do know the guy. And yeah, I do know the guy, and how he decided to come in and attack you. I apologize for that. I have no idea why that was the case. Apparently he was maybe Googling names in the background to see who was who and when was when. And then this whole business of, oh,
I mean,
ever...
and in regards to the whole Geeky Pixie thing, I've already told you everything from my perspective. Okay.
Hey, I followed Geeky Pixie. She followed me back. I don't recall if I ever DM'd her or not. I don't think I did, because
I DM'd her back when I was still on Twitter a couple of times, and I've seen pictures where. So I think there are two. In fact, there are two Geeky Pixies. Okay?
Yeah, and I think, and I'm still saying she because that was the face, that was being used all the time in this account. Geeky Pixie put up that one topless picture on a Tuesday, and everybody was like, "Woohoo!" Again, no idea that it's a fake picture.
But if the next time I see her on, I'll send you the link, and then you can go and judge for yourself.
There's another Geeky Pixie. Well, I think the one that was outed wasn't really like motion live stream. It was more like face live stream and voices, and she would never really go on camera and do it because technology wasn't there. Anyway,
in fact, the one who's Geeky Pixie now though has been on as different names too.
Yeah.
So Geeky Pixie is just the latest name she's taken. She's been under different names,
Well, and when I heard that there was, when I heard the morning that there was news,
was even under a real name at one point.
Yeah, when the morning I got up and saw on Twitter that there was news about Geeky Pixie, I did like a search to find out what was being said, and there were a lot of Geeky Pixies out there, so it took me a while to find out what was really going on. Wow, comics! What a wild ride comics is this week. Is there something in comics that we should be talking about?
Yeah, there's always something in comics we should be talking about.
Well, fill us in, man.
Well, I don't know what happened, but apparently my entire Stimmy check went to backing Kickstarters and Indiegogos.
You too?
Did we just Me Too Kickstarters?
Yeah, I think we did.
We probably did. And
yeah.
We probably don't give a crap. all I know is I think Jazz Crab and I became best friends right after he called me dead and RIP'd me. Just let me know that I was going to need another case of Natty Light.
Yeah, he could tell you were dying through all that. It's like, my heart just...
I'm sorry about that.
I kept going
Will.
to
that whole drama wasn't necessary.
I kept going to a second tab and just listening to Snowflakes from Tom McDonald. So,
okay, yeah, that's I wish I had that option. I could have just played like some music and come back, and nothing would have changed.
That was like la la, and I came back and I go, oh, they're still going at
it. So that's how you were holding it together.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, Grant, maybe I didn't do anything to warrant it, but I apologize because nobody should have to. None of us should have had to endure that. You drama.
have nothing to apologize for, Mike. You just keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, we are kind of derailed now. Wow. I know.
I've got an idea. Unless Will had an idea that he wanted to share.
I have lots of ideas, but go right ahead. You were the attack party.
All right. Well,
as the agreed party, you have the option of first rebuttal.
Well, okay. I mean, one of the things I was going to suggest, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Friday night. When from my own stream, you happen to be on it. I saw you commented a couple of things, and I don't know if you stuck around through the remainder of the show or if you had left already. But
I stayed for a while, but I did leave after a while because I had other things I had to get on, some writing stuff that had to be done.
Yeah, because normally what I do when I do read through the comments, I usually will do a running commentary. Whereas as I'm reading, if I pick something up, like in terms of like how they're saying certain things, like sure. Word usage and all that.
Yeah, because there was a specific word usage back in the Golden Age. I did a story about Winsor McKay, and I did it an out loud reading at a writers group. Mm-hmm. And there was everybody younger than me and one really old guy. And I was doing this bit where Winsor McKay was dreaming and he was in Slumberland, and I used the language and the cadence that would be in any of the Little Nemo strips. You know, the oh, I do hope I do not fall awake. Oh me, and when I came out of that, it was time, you know, for the reviews and for what people saw. And he's like, before anybody says anything, I want to address the language. Because he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the language was spot on for the time and the publications, because he had read the Little Nemo strips, and he didn't want didn't want me to get attacked for saying, you know, why is your grammar so stilted and so short sentenced and so much punctuation? He's like, that's how it was. So he did the research and he got it right.
Yeah, well, and if you notice too, even when I read as part of the more entertaining side of it, I'll try to like change my voice around, you know, changing inflections and intonation and all that. As I said, normally I'll do a running commentary when I'm reading, but since I was only covering 2 stories that were basically by the same author, George Brenner, I decided to try to read through them first and then do a compare contrast analysis afterwards between the 2 characters, the hawk and the clock, and that was kind of fun. Like one of the things, like having Batgoat as my my co-host, that's kind of cool because he's a bit of a history buff, and he's got some different areas like aviation, you know, him being also a former Navy corpsman. You know, he brings a lot of different experiences with him. One of the things that he did the other day, you know, or that we noticed after reading the Joe Palooka story, where we saw that his manager got taken by that girl.
Oh yeah,
he did the calculation. So we figured that the manager had spent $23 on their date, and he did the calculation as to what that would amount to today. You know, and you know, we had a little fun with that. So
you and Batgoat should split the dialogue. Get him, you know, go back and forth with the word balloons rather than you reading the whole thing and him kind of sitting there quiet.
He's taking note. I mean, you know, because the thing is that, again, I don't know how to use the share screens. I don't know if he could read them.
Oh, if he couldn't read it off the share screen, yeah, that could be a problem. Because you've got the full comicsology.
When I'm reading it, I'm not reading it on the shared screen. I'm reading it from the other.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does make a difference. You'd have to almost send him like the images of the page, and I know you're reading it off an app, so that might not be easy.
Or just tell him the website; he could pull it up himself. That's true too.
Then you could both go at the same time.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about something early on too.
And you got my private chat there, right?
Yeah, I did.
A couple minutes.
I'm totally not worried about it. Earlier on, I was making the joke about Martian Manhunter, and somebody in the chat had said that, you know, basically because he can change his shape. Let me find it back here. It was Jimmy Hayes. Jimmy, hope you're still here. That lack of stable form made the character harder to relate to and contributed to his lack of enough popularity to consistently support his own book. And you're right, there have been attempts at a Martian Manhunter book. They've usually been miniseries. But I think the Martian Manhunter would be a really fun character to write and could sustain his own book if they actually played with the fact that he doesn't have a solid identity. He can be anybody. So what if he is multiple people? What if he's got like 7 contracting jobs, seven independent freelance positions? What if he really is an Asian woman when he's in Japan? What if he really is a private detective, John Jones, when he's in Chicago? He could be like, when I first read Moon Knight, before I found out that there was all this Egyptian god, Khonshu, fist, whatever going on, I thought it was cool because it was like, oh, he's Batman. He's got a costume identity and he's a millionaire. And he's a taxi driver. Oh, he's got 3 identities. That kind of blew my mind. So I think that, you know, if the Martian Manhunter was somebody who just flitted between identities all the time to do his thing, and then didn't really do anything as Jean Jones, the green guy who flies, that could be a fun story.
Just a little history bit for you. Martian Manhunter made his debut in Detective Comics number 225 from November 1955. Just to let you know, and I know he had a feature in Detective Comics there for a while before it eventually evolved into just strictly a Batman feature. When it was still an anthology. The Joseph Samakson was the writer, and Joe Certa was the artist. Those are the two guys who created the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
So,
and he was basically Superman, but vulnerable to fire. And he's supposedly stronger than Superman. And then they made the fire thing a psychological thing, so he can kind of get over it now. So which makes him even much stronger.
He had powers that Superman didn't. Yeah, he had a lot of the same physical powers Superman did, like enhanced senses, superhuman strength, flight, all that. But he also had other powers that Superman didn't, like telepathy, telekinesis, shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting, intangibility, invisibility. He's pretty much everything if he were to go bad. Now, they did make that fire thing a psychological issue with him because, they always flash back to his family dying in fire. But they've also sort of contradicted that because they've shown Batman taking down white Martians with a match. So they're all scared of fire. James is still here. Says, you need a core identity to build a character people can relate to around. All of Moon Knight's personalities still spin off Mark Spector as a core identity, for example. I get that. It would be a challenge. And, I think you wouldn't be able to have like a million different identities. That would be untenable. But certainly you could have a network of identities. Batman has supposedly set up a network of identities. We just never see him using anything other than Matches Malone. In fact, he's one time told somebody, they were getting ready to expose Bruce Wayne as Batman. He's like, go ahead, I've got more. He's got identity set up for this kind of thing.
That's sometimes the only way to deal with people like that. Sometimes just they call you on something, you just call them back on it.
Yep. Show my identity. I don't care.
Yeah, Batman did it and I kind of was doing that a little bit earlier too. Same thing. That sometimes the only way to deal with people like that is to just stand up and face the consequences of whatever the truth may be.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Martian Manhunter is always going to be part of the Justice League, and that's the only place we're ever going to see him because there's not much innovation going on in comics, right, Will?
There is nothing going on in the mainstream.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
Yeah, you actually have. RJ can tell you because he's at least seen at least one of my retrospect shows. If you want to see how creative the mainstream can be and how good they can be, you have to look to the past. The stuff coming out right now isn't all that great.
Oh yeah. So, in the past, they used to do stuff in the past that was just bonkers as far as story. I mean,
I'm not old enough to know that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not. I'm not old. I was born in 1975. I didn't actually read the comics in the 30s when they came out in the 30s. Okay.
Well, nobody did.
I've only in the last few years been reading the Golden Age comics because I got interested in them in part because I grew up watching Super Friends, right? That was, and then in let's say the last, 10, 15, 20 years, I kind of became, like having grown up watching Super Friends and watching Super Friends cartoons and watching the DCAU throughout the 90s and 2000s, got me thinking, I really want to get into this. And I mentioned this to you before too, RJ. One of the things I'm doing with this, want to do with this project, the idea I kind of threw out there is for those who grew up reading comics, right? If they had the opportunity to go into that whatever comics world in our case it'd be like DC. For some people it might be Marvel, others it might be Archie, what have you. If you had a chance to enter that world and interact with those characters in person, would you? And how do you think your interaction would go? And if you are going to do that, the thing you need to know everything possible about the universe you're entering into.
See, this is what I find. I'm not going to say funny. I find it intriguing is that if almost anybody said, I'm interested in reading comics, where's a good place to start? Most people would say, well, start with something like, Dark Knight Returns or Batman Year One, or here's a really good, run of this. Mike's like, I'm interested in reading comics. Where should I start? When did they begin? He goes right back to book one, square one, and he's working his way forward. The man is going to have read everything that's available on comics that's ever been published.
Well, I mean, not everything. Obviously, you're talking about like 88 years of comics. I'm not going to read every single comic or every single feature. I'll read a lot of them, and of course, the world building and stuff. I'll read stuff that's pertinent to the world building, but I'm not going to read every single comic. That would take the rest of my life.
You'd find a lot of repetition going on too.
Exactly.
RJ, all I know is I am now super depressed because I'm actually older than Mike.
Well, I was born in 1967, so I'm always feeling
the baby of the group here.
Thank the Lord, I'm not the oldest person in the room now.
Yep, I'm older than you, and I'm older than God damn, I'm older than everybody here.
You only got 2 years on me.
Okay, I gotta go take my Geritol here, and
Boy.
do they still make that? I know it was the big old age drug.
Look,
when I was a little.
If you want to talk about feeling old, I spent like the last day and a half kind of like sleeping off, not feeling well from being up until 3 o'clock in the morning doing an extended show on Friday night. And,
who'd you have on?
I had an old friend of mine, Nick, who goes by Heartless Art and Heartless Weeb. He just started a manga channel. He quit comics cold turkey and went 100% manga, and he's probably spent about $5,000 buying manga, and he's built like an entire library. It's ridiculous.
He's ready to read. Yeah, he didn't quit comics. He just changed genres.
Yeah. I've known him for many years, and I also had Raymond Ramos on, who goes by AKA Cosplay Ray, and he was talking about some of his cosplay builds, and we got into like a little bit of that, and, transitioning and recommendations in the manga field, and all kinds of like fun stuff. And then we ended the show after about 3.5 hours, and after that I went to Tubi and I put on the Dean Martin roasts, and they've been running for like a day.
I'll be right back, RJ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are nice. The Dean Martin roasts. I've lost control of my mouse.
So those were fun, but
well, my mouse has simply lost control of itself here. I was trying to move something over to the other screen because you brought up cosplay, and I wanted to show something here, cosplay related. Because what the heck? My mouse will there, Kate. Finally, there we go. Wow. I tried to move a screen while it was loading. Bad idea, because it was like in between monitors and stuff tried to come up, and the computer's like, what screen do I put this on? And it just kind of froze up for a bit here. But I don't know if I've mentioned this on any of our streams before, but we do have this monthly feature over at Critical Blast called the Critical Blast Bombshell of the Month. And it is always devoted to, a new cosplayer out there showing their stuff. And we have, we have one a month, so there's 12 total. And at the end of the year, when we do our best of 2020 for movies and television shows and comics, we throw all 12 of them into the pool, and our readers select the bombshell of the year. If we can, they get a trophy and everything, as do the movie people and the comic book people. And our bombshell of the month this month for June is Paris Cosplays, and she's showing off some of her stuff. Gosh, I wish maybe I can make this bigger. Maybe we'll see. Okay, that's about as big as I can get it. Here she's doing Jinx from League of Legends, photo by Jorge and Jordan. Here she's doing Seraphine from League of Legends. She's big on League of Legends. She asked what genres we wanted. I'm like, no, you're the cosplayer. You do what you do what makes you happy. Why do you cosplay and do that? And here she is doing Nizuko from Demon Slayer. So, she's, big in the League of Legends, and she's big on manga. And of course, there's all kinds of questions here that she answers for us. That we, boilerplate questions we give everybody else to kind of get to know them a little bit. You can find her on Instagram at Paris Cosplays, and on TikTok at Paris Cosplays with 2 S's. So, if you want to see more of her cosplay, she's got a very good library of photos here. She's very talented at what she's doing, as are all of our monthly cosplayers, by the way. So, if you are somebody who wants to be considered for a cosplayer of the month with a bombshell of the month, and we picked bombshell because, we're Critical Blast, and it's people who look good in costumes are bombshells. The bomb already fell. Thanks, Jared.
I guess he was referring to what happened earlier with Testify, Trash Compactor.
Never water under the bridge.
Walk away from that, off the shoulder. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I know.
Walk it off, champ.
I'm sorry, I do have a little bit of obsessiveness sometimes, but
it's all right.
It's all right.
So, RJ,
yes,
tell me, have you backed any indie comics recently?
Oh, have I backed any indie comics recently? That's a great question. Let me see.
Aren't clients?
Yeah, actually. Although I do. Here's the funny thing. I don't have to back my clients. I just wait till the books get here, and I'm like, here's your $10. I saved the shipping. Because I'm the shipper. I'm like, here, send this to me. Thank you, me. And now I've got it. And they get their money. So here's my Indiegogo.
Actually, we had a pretty good conversation the other day with the guy who was coming out with that wrestling comic.
Yeah. Yeah, were you? Yeah, you were in the chat on that one. I remember that. That was
I was your first super chat. I was your first super chat.
You were my first 2 super chats. By the way, they hold onto all that money until you've got $100 saved up, and then they will make a disbursement to your bank.
Okay.
So
yeah, and it did eventually get processed though. So
I'll get it sometime next year, or 20. I'll get 20% of it sometime next year.
Well, it apparently did get processed because now it's a posted transaction as opposed to a pending. So.
They took it. Thank you so much for that too. That means a lot. That somebody we had a sticker here tonight from Tatsunami. So I feel like this thing might just take off someday. So here, yeah, I've backed Fiendish, which is coming to us from Irene Strakowski.
Yes, I did as well.
The Cryptidnals, have you backed that one?
No, but they are on my show Monday night. Well,
by Monday night, you will have backed it because it's fun. I hope that Oliver tells you his La Llorona story as a kid. When he encountered that particular cryptid in Mexico, and ask him about desert apes. I have backed the Ninja Blast comic book, Monster MD, which I've already received, by the way. I backed the Siamese trade paperback. I have backed a few things here. So far, I've gotten one of the ones we've listed. Beardzerker, of course. Hammerella. Joe King, Saving Everyone Again for the First Time. Yes, I backed both of those books. My screen's dancing around here. Pirate Queen, can't wait to get that one. Star Circuit, also can't wait to get that one. The Kill Journal, really can't wait to get that one. That's a leather-bound hardcover. That's just going to look so super cool for $50. Glenn in Monsterland, just was talking with him today about shipping, by the way, and he was not a client when I backed this. He's just asking about our services now. The Indie Volt Revolt Sequential Art Collection, Will, are you familiar with that one?
Yes, I bought 2 of those.
Oh, well, I only bought one. Are you getting one for each eyeball or something?
Well, I wanted the Rocketeer girl cover.
Oh, that's right. They had different covers.
Yeah, so there were 2 cover sets. And
I forgot that.
And so I bought 2. I bought the version that I wanted, plus I bought the other version kind of out of guilt because I'm friends with Daphne Lage and
That's not out of guilt. That's out of friendship.
and Russ Leach. So I'm like, I gotta get both covers.
Yeah, because you'll probably eventually get those signed. I backed Cluster Fudge, which has fulfilled, and I've delivered it. And which the review is on criticalblast.com right now on the front page. It was an interesting book. I had backed El Crudo number 4, and I have had that fulfilled. I have not reviewed it yet. When I say number 4, I actually got number 1 through 4. El Crudo is an orangutan who was dropped into the Vietnam War. He's part of a special operation training apes to go in and do guerrilla warfare. Yes, I said it. And here is the number 4, which should look like a familiar looking cover to anyone who loves science fiction and fantasy. I've read the first issue. I'm into that, and I'm going to get through 2nd and 3rd and 4th, and then I will probably publish a review on that one. I'm waiting on Arachna. That one's just now fulfilling, so be happy to get that. The Abductables, X-Farce, got that. Company Men is a client. Up front, can't wait to see that one. The Rabbi from Another Planet, another one that I'm huge on wanting to get. That's his Comics Bonanza. He's doing this merger of like all the cool 1960s television shows, and basically saying they all exist on the same universe and they all interact. So you're going to get like Space 1999 and The Prisoner and The Avengers and James Bond and all that stuff.
You had me
all
in
the cool
Space 1999.
Yes. He also does some really good for the male gaze trading cards. And one of them was a Space 1999 version. The Rascals Book 2 got it. And also the Rascals Book 2, the original picture, which I can actually show you is up there. The sketch for Tony is on my wall. It's in a bag. So it's taped up there. I've started to put things on the wall now. Confederate Monster will be shipping soon. That's books 1 through 3. Cannot wait for that. Doc Salem, I have. X-Farce, I have. I said X-Farce twice. One of those was the coffee mug. That was this coffee mug. So ordered that separate. Have I intersected with any of your backing so far, Will, other than the Indie Volt?
Just the Indie Volt. I think a good majority of mine are on Kickstarter.
See, I don't like Kickstarter. I backed some on Kickstarter.
I don't like Indiegogo.
Really? What don't you like about Indiegogo? I'll tell you what I don't like about Kickstarter.
They don't like my money.
That's interesting. They keep sending it back?
They keep refusing my payment after I'm like, well, I know I have plenty of money in my account. What?
Yeah, I use my PayPal for everything on this, which is why I don't like Kickstarter. Kickstarter is like, I'll look in PayPal. When I want to back something, I pick up my phone, I look at my PayPal, I'm like, yes, I have the money for it, take my money. And when I do that with Indiegogo, they take my money. When I do it with Kickstarter, they say, we'll get around to it. So, 3 days later, I'll look, not 3 days later, my memory's not that short, but like 2 weeks later, I'll look at Indiegogo and I'll say, I like that one. I'll look at my phone. I have PayPal. Take my money, Indiegogo. And they do. And then the next week, Kickstarter comes in and says, hey, where's that money you said we could take? Like, I gave it to you 3 weeks ago. Well, we're only now taking it. So there's that. But then this last week, I found another reason to hate Kickstarter. Because I backed a project that I really want to get, Impossible Jones 2 from Carl Kiesel. And I had backed it. Kickstarter took my money, and then last week it began fulfillment, and they're like, fill out the charts and everything for getting your name and address correct. And it was done through BackerKit. Well, guess what? BackerKit said, okay, now we need you to pay for the shipping. Like, why didn't I pay for the shipping when I paid for the book? Because you didn't. So I had to give them surprise money, which, again, I didn't like. Trash Compactor Show, I bought socks. I bought the Trash Compactor Show socks. The Ghetto Dragon Book 1, waiting on that one.
Wait. I'm sorry. I have to say something here. You supported them, and the guy comes on here and starts garbage with us.
I'll be right back.
Let it go. Let it go.
I wasn't trying per se to start another storm. I was just wanting to point that out. I was pointing out the character flaw of that guy. If you've supported him and now he's coming onto your show and trying to start garbage, you have to kind of wonder where his head's at. That's all I was going to say about that.
Let it go. Let it go. James, yeah, the only time he ever had issue with Indiegogo was when he backed Mike Miller's politically oriented Trump comic. I'm assuming you're talking about the Magnificent Seven. I backed that twice, but then I went directly to it off of Mike's Twitter page, so I didn't have to search IGG for it. You had to jump through hoops, and IGG had shadow banned this project. I do remember that. It wasn't showing up on searches. And in fact, look, here they are on the screen right now, right under Peregrine Wings of the Falcon, which I'm waiting on. The Magnificent Seven, which I bought 2 copies of it. So I'm proud backer of both of those. Look, I bought the Trash Compactor koozie too, back in October of 2020. There's the first issue of The Rascals, the starring Sonia Devereaux exclusive graphic novel. This is one that's been a little bit late now. This is Fairy Quest. I'm still waiting on this one. Let's see what the campaign says about that one, by the way.
Thanks for the advice.
Fairy Quest. This one is from Meta Studios. This is actually, oh, come on. I can't remember the artist, the creator's name now. Paul Jenkins, big name. I just was slipping my mind there. Beautiful looking stuff. I cannot wait to get it, but it's very much behind schedule. Let's see if there's any updates on that. There was an update on May 26th. On track to deliver at the end of summer as promised. Okay, so, well, this was January 2021, so they must have, pray they altered the deal further. That's Paul Jenkins' book. And I can't wait to get it. Florida Man graphic novel, got it. Fulfilled recently. Vestry 1, got it. Battle Brick Road, that one's very late. That's the Kenneth Rockefort variant cover, so I'm waiting for Battle Brick Road. Billy Tucci and Maria Sinapo's Miss Fury from Dynamite, waiting on that one now. Another case for The Littlest Umbrella. I know that one has been shipping out, so hopefully I'll get something on that one in the next couple of days.
Tug.
I support Tug. I will always support Tug. Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog 2
cool
Next
guy.
Planet. He is. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this estimated delivery on Wrecked Planet is probably not going to happen. May 2021. That was, again. I didn't expect that it would, and I know that he even said on streams, I have it done by Christmas. That was supposed to be last Christmas. That was the over promise. Was the Christmas date.
Well, I just found my original Cyberfrog 0 and 1, 2, and 3.
Woo, eBay, here we come.
Oh no, I will not do business with eBay ever again.
I've got. I'm going to check my books next weekend when I get home because I'm seeing eBay listings now for Action Comics number 9, not the Golden Age one, but the newer one with Calvin Ellis.
2011 reboot.
Oh,
yeah.
2011 reboot. Is that what you're talking about? Volume 2?
Exactly. Yeah. Because I've got that, and I'm seeing that go for some pretty crazy prices. I'm like, I'm not really that attached to the book. All this Superman movie talk has made that one skyrocket. It's the first appearance of Calvin Ellis.
I've been looking to find that through mine, and I'm like, I know I have it because I've seen it before, but I mean, if I come across it again, I'm like, that is going right up into an auction.
Exactly. Everglade Angels, got that one. Haven't seen anything out of Blake since she did that. She got like a job offer at DC or something and then disappeared into the ether. So I hope she's okay. Well, she's doing something for, she's working with Mitch Breitweiser and his company on stuff. Pillowman and Blanket Boy, this one was refunded because it didn't happen. And then I didn't jump on the new campaign because I was without a job for much of this. Cyberfrog Blood Honey, got that. Here's one we're never going to get. Little Girl Lethal. You were on the story on that one, Will?
No.
Okay, well, let's see. I wonder if the campaign is even still on there. Why would they have taken that down? They have not taken that down. Yeah, Little Girl Lethal was another one of those. Yeah, okay. It is taken down. It's not funding right now. But it's one of those things where, short skirts and handlebar. Cheesecake, handlebar pony.
Oh wait, what are they trying to say, that Little Girl Lethal is something like some kind of like, I don't know, something like,
no,
basically kind of the naughty stuff of Loli or whatever? Or is that what they're trying to?
They're not trying to. They've actually arrested the guy and put him in jail for possessing child porn on his computer.
Oh.
So yeah, that book's never going to happen. So that's $25 I will never see in my life. I'll live. Jawbreakers Lost Souls, got it. That was my first one. That was my first IGG right there. Jawbreakers Lost Souls, the graphic novel. So I am OG Comicsgate backer with that. Kickstarter doesn't really show me anything of what I've backed, I don't think.
It does, because I just pulled my page up.
You want to share it? We'll be happy to look at it as long as you're not doxing yourself if they don't show your credit card number or something.
Let me double check. I don't see anything.
All right. If you're happy with it, then we're happy.
Well, there's nothing in my account, so I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still probably don't want to be just giving out even if there's nothing in the account, there's going to be, at some point, there might be something in your account. You don't want everybody and their grandmother to have that information, because then they'll just figure, oh, when he does have money, we'll take it.
I'm bringing up my page, and it doesn't show anything.
It doesn't show anything. Doesn't even give a screen name.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. So here, I've got mine all ready to go. So I'll just put that up there, and then we'll bring yours up afterwards. Miskatonic High, issue 11. Love this series. Issue number 11. They put out a book every 3 months on schedule, like clockwork.
That is beautiful.
And it's fun reading. I say that because I've got, as down here, Miskatonic High issue 10. Only it wasn't issue 10. I got the first 10 issues and the crossover they did with another independent creator who does a book called Lovecraft PI. So they said, hey, one of them went to the other and said, hey, would this be nice? Why don't we cross over? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So there was Lovecraft PI and Miskatonic High, and Miskatonic High and Lovecraft PI. They both shared, top billing. And it was a fun story. This is a fun series. This is, they're high schoolers who battle Lovecraftian terrors, and they're not really sure which one's scarier. High school or what they deal with in Monsters. They've done the time travel thing. There is an overarching story, but for the most part, every issue is one and done. I think I've read one two-parter so far. One two-parter so far, and that was after issue number 5. So, and the first 5 issues were in trade paperback.
Nice.
So yeah, I definitely recommend getting that one. The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. That is Dave Sim. And Carson,
sweet.
Yeah,
and Carson Grubow. So this was we had him on the show.
After that stream you did on him, I actually read a little bit of a synopsis from. I didn't realize this until later that Alex Raymond was the guy who I believe created Flash Gordon.
He drew Flash Gordon in the comic strips. And then I don't think he created him.
He drew him. Okay. Yeah, because Flash Gordon was a part of like the King Feature Syndicate comics that were covered by David McCabe Publications back there in the late 30s. They were doing the reprints there.
Yeah, Raymond
I think I mentioned that to you before, though.
Sure. Yeah, Raymond was hyper realistic in his art style, and there's very few people who can touch him even today. After that, I got Bloom, The Origin of a Prophet, issues 1 and 2, which was really just issue 2 because I already had issue 1 down here. That came from Dan Serrata. No, wait a second. That's not right. I'm going to click on it just to get to where I was. Sikora. Ted Sikora. Dan Serrata. Who the hell is he? Oh, I know who he is. I know the Serrata Punch. Ted Sikora. From Hero Tomorrow, they have a book series called Apama, the Undiscovered Animal, and everything kind of spins out of that, including, by the way, boy, this is serendipitous, Punchline, which is one of their characters, which predates the DC Punchline character. The only thing that doesn't predate is the Antarctic title Punchline, which doesn't have a character named Punchline. It's just the book. So there's no competition going on there. Impossible Jones and Holly Day's team up from Carl Kiesel. That one's getting ready to fulfill. Omni #1. Waiting to hear more on that one. The Bite of Brenna Barlow. Oh, I can't wait to get this one. This one's supposed to be delivering any time now, but it's coming from overseas. And here is a Punchline in the Vaudevillains, where I bought this T-shirt that I'm now wearing. And Slowpokes. This Slowpokes was fun. Slowpokes was somebody was experimenting on animals, and they experimented on sloths, and they made them faster. Like really.
Oh yeah, I had him on my show. Oh man, I think I dropped my manhood while I was laughing reading that book.
It was a fun book.
Okay. Little TMI there.
Dude,
Like,
oh
do we
my
really
God.
need to know that you dropped your manhood?
He laughed it right off.
Well, I'm much older than you, so they hang lower.
Yeah, there they are, right there on the floor.
Okay.
Let's pick them up. Super Cat versus the Alien. I picked this one up because it was being created by an 11-year-old boy in comics.
Oh, nice.
He was doing the writing and the drawing. Had him on the show with his dad. Tim, you did a great job on that. Can't wait to see your next book. Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose.
It's good to see kids getting involved in comics like that. And I know there are a lot of stories, and I talked to you about this before too, RJ, even within the realm of comics, where you have a lot of like kids being depicted in comics in very positive ways.
Yes, and I will always try to support kids backing comic or creating comics. That's why I got the Pillowman and Blanket Boy. I wish hang on. Let me get you the big screen here, Will. I got a long way for the mouse to travel.
Or just like that.
Soulstream. Now tell me about Soulstream.
Soulstream is on the Scoot line from Scout Comics.
Oh, look at that. Created by a 14-year-old girl named Marie Rosales.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that. I will always back comics that are being created by kids because they're the next generation.
I pulled
creators.
these because I have a daughter that is very much into art, especially like the anime manga style. And much like a close personal artist friend of ours, I believe Jim O'Reilly, nothing that she does or he does is any good. But I have to kind of like use my password into her iPad to actually see anything she's done. She won't show it to me. Every once in a while she'll share and I'll be like, did you draw that? Yeah. By hand? Like you did? Yeah. Wow.
Make art now.
Yes.
And then the last two I've got on here are Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, the trade paperback, the trade paperback of the first 10-ish, first handful of issues from Jim Balint, and then Common America. Common America is not my first Kickstarter. It's the first Kickstarter I backed with the Critical Blast account. Mm-hmm. I had one Kickstarter prior to that I had backed. It was a comic book. It was called Titan, not the mouse, not that book. But it was a superhero. It was kind of like Shazam. It was a regular guy who could turn into the superhero. And he'd apparently been at it for a while. But in Titan #1, he turns back into the civilian, and he gets really, really sick. And it turns out that his mortal identity now has cancer. And it was created by the creator was also having his own battle with cancer, and this was his catharsis. Very well drawn. I mean, it had Jerry Ordway cover on it for one thing. So it had talent. So Will, why don't you back us through your projects here? Show us the things you're waiting on.
All right. Can I?
You're driving.
I'm driving. All right. Okay. First, I have Quicksand here, which is by Jonathan Hendrick, the writer of that big Scout title, The Recount.
Okay.
And he's done quite a few other things. And this was for I backed it, and I picked a really cool to me variant cover, and I did an add-on for $5 to have it signed, because why wouldn't I want an indie book signed?
Of course. I'm turning my head now because I had to drag StreamYard over to my big monitor so I could read what's on your screen.
Oh, okay. Next is
yeah, that's easy for you to say.
yes.
Anwenwe.
Nope. Anunu.
No. Anunu?
Anunu Warriors. And this is a comic company from Hawaii. The creator is a native Hawaiian, and he was impressed that I said some actual Hawaiian words correctly. One of them he said even better than him. So apparently watching Dog the Bounty Hunter and Hawaii Five-0, the original and the new, actually paid off for once.
Things you can learn from watching television.
Yes. This is actually a history, not a history, but the forming of the universe, and giving you like the backstory, even though there's a whole bunch of other books already out there, but he actually hasn't told like the history and the origins. So this is the origin story of that entire universe. And they're actually manacomics.com, and they're right out of Hawaii, and they do very well, and they did terrific on this Kickstarter.
Cool.
Next, the Crimson Cult and the Shadow Man single. So I was one of the people that went all in on Valiant Comics back in the 90s.
Yeah, I had almost everything they did too for a while.
And was very angry when some junky video game company bought them and then started making their own titles that were like very bad. But I've always been, one of my favorite titles from them has always been Shadow Man. So Shadow Man is back, and it's a current ongoing right now. Of course, it'll be a miniseries because everything they do is a miniseries.
Of course.
But this miniseries, well, this extended series of Shadow Man is written by Cullen Bunn. But there is a heavy metal band called Thunder that has been doing tribute songs to the Valiant comic characters for like the last 10 years.
And did they put them on vinyl? Because I'm seeing vinyl plus Shadow Man on there.
Yes. Vinyl. I'm like, if
Nice.
it's on vinyl, I will back it. You want me to pay you like $30 for a CD? Get out of Dodge. So I backed the vinyl. The vinyl actually has a splatter and a glow-in-the-dark cover on the album jacket.
They went all in.
Yep, all in. And there is a very cool Iron Maiden homage cover on Shadow Man. And it has the old school Shadow Man lettering from the 90s.
Okay. Very cool. I'm looking at this next one here, and I'm just all over this one. I don't know how I missed Kaijus and Cowboys. I'm one of the people who actually like cowboys and aliens. So
apparently, you were too busy and missed my episode of the show that day.
yep, apparently.
I got it on this. Number one, I know the artist. I'm friends with him. I've known him for a number of years from a prior series he did, and I know he loves kaijus and big robot aliens. And in this, the cowboys are actually robots.
Well, that kind of takes all the cowboyness out of it, though.
Not really. It's kind of got a feel of.
I was hoping it was going to be like giant monsters coming out of the mines in the Old West. Like they disturbed something several stories tall in a gold mine, and the prospectors died, and now the town's got to come together and stop this thing from stepping on buildings.
It's a little different than that, but the art is amazing because his first love is kaijus, and they actually got picked up by a publisher. So this is a huge key if that run goes anywhere.
Definitely.
Because it's the first appearance of all the characters. And this even though this is kind of like a number one, it's actually more like a number 0. The publisher picked him up for a minimum of a 12-issue run. And that
so
runs,
if a publisher's got it, then Netflix might pick it up.
Yeah. And that run starts next year in January. Of course, he's already working on it. So the next one is Catch the Crazies number 3. Podcasters versus the Supernatural. These guys were a huge podcast back in the day, and then they broke up, and one of them went and was like, oh, I got to get a real job and do this and do that. And then they got back together. And they were on the show and impressed me, and more so they have a lot of skills. Besides making a comic book, they've got skills in every form of medium. And I'm like, can you teach me that? No. I'm like, oh. But I back this because I'm a huge Batman fan, but on top of being a huge Batman fan, I've got quite a collection of homage covers for Action Comics number 1. And they did a homage cover for Action Comics number 1.
Are you talking about Volume 1, Issue 1, or are you talking about Volume 2, Issue 1?
No, I'm talking about the real one.
Oh, Volume 1, Issue 1, the one from back in 38.
Yeah, the other one doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you because I know RJ, you said you had a copy of Action Comics number 1 as well, right?
No.
We talked about it last. Oh, you don't?
No. I mean, maybe
I don't have a copy of Action Comics number 1 either. I thought you said you did when we were talking about it last week. Well, the thing I wanted to bring up is this with that. Now, everybody knows that, of course, Action Comics number 1 was Superman's debut.
Yeah.
Now in the comic, I think there were like 7 or 8 features in that first issue.
Yeah.
Aside from the Superman feature, can you name at least 3 other features?
Dr. Occult and Zatara and the Whip.
No, Dr. Occult was not in Action.
He wasn't in
Comics.
Action?
He was in More Fun.
Ah, darn it.
Zatara is right. Can you think of any others?
I want to say the Whip.
No, he came later. He was in Flash Comics.
Okay. See, this is what happens, Will, when you start reading your comic collection from the beginning. It's all fresh in his mind right now. It's like he just stepped out of 1938 into today through the door. And he's like, he could be one of those people who says, well, actually, if you're worried about the movie, in the comics they did this. And if you'd read it, it's like he's back in 1938 talking the comics. Nobody's read the 1938 comics today. God, who else was in Action Comics?
There was Zatara, as you said. Tex Thompson was a very interesting. Kind of went through three personas
He went on
during his
the
run.
American Mando.
Yeah, Mr. America and American Mando. Pep Morgan was in that first issue. Pep Morgan was a sports hero who they had transferred from a New Adventure to Action. Chuck Dawson, who is a Western type hero. So there's like four others right there.
Yeah, because they had to fill the book to make it sellable. Somewhere along the way, we got to where the book was just devoted to one character, one story.
Right. There was that evolution, like as I've told you before when we talked about it. Back there in the Golden Age, a lot of the books started out as anthologies.
Yep.
And eventually it would gravitate to where they would become feature books. We now know like Action Comics as a feature book, right? Here's another little interesting little twist. When you hear the term or title World's Finest or World's Finest Comics, what do you think? What comes to mind when you hear World's Finest or World's Finest Comics?
Well, usually Batman and Superman, right, Will?
Yeah. Well, Batman
is
Superman,
as most people know it today, World's Finest is basically it's the feature team. It's a feature book that features a team ups of Superman and Batman.
Yeah, it used to be an anthology though too that did other team.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with it. That's exactly where I was going with it. It's what I have come to term was a super anthology.
Yeah,
that's a term.
I think was still headlined by a Superman Batman story.
Yeah, back then they were the two, but they were separate stories back then. It wasn't like when World's Finest first came. I think it was 40 or 41 when it first came out. It was what I called a super anthology. Now, as you know, back then there were anthologies, and usually, like you'd have 2 or 3. Even though you'd have a total of 8, you'd have 2 or 3 that were really the ones that were like the main ones. Now, Action, of course, ended up with 5 at one point, but the super anthologies were the seasonal anthologies that came out that took maybe some like the top 1 or 2 from so you'd have like Superman and Zatara from Action. You might have had like Batman from Detective, and you might have had from Adventure, like maybe sometimes they throw in Sandman in there, sometimes they throw in Hourman.
It was like every 3 months they came out.
Yeah. And of course, World's Finest wasn't the only super anthology they had. They also had like Comics Cavalcade, which featured like the All-American line of comics, which had like the 3 headliners there were, of course, Wonder Woman, who headlined Sensational Comics at the time. The Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, who headlined, of course, Flash Comics. Yeah. And Green Lantern Alan Scott, who headlined All-American Comics. So they had those, like, you'd have the regular monthly anthologies that had the regular characters, and you'd have like maybe some who weren't as well known. And you'd usually have like the lead feature at the front of the book and the primary backup feature, the secondary feature in the back of the book. And then everything in between was usually, third tier on down.
Well, I want Hawkman and the Atom to team back up and be a regular thing. I would read the heck out of that, because that's just like, why are they together? It doesn't matter. They're doing it.
Yeah, in the Golden Age, Hawkman was featured in Flash Comics. I think he had a story or 2 in Comics Cavalcade as well. And then the Atom was featured in All-American. I think he was like the number 2 featured in All-American Comics. Well, of course, it is Carter Hall and Al Pratt we're talking about, not Katar Hall and Ray Palmer.
Yeah, that was the ones who would be a team up for a long time. They had their own series, Hawkman and the Atom, which was like the most odd pairing you could think of. But, by golly, it worked. But let's get back to
even in the Super Friends cartoon, you'd see more likely the Atom and the Flash. Well, in the Super Friends cartoon as well as the Filmation cartoons, you'd see the Flash and Atom team up more.
Yeah.
Oh, Jazz just said something, I guess, in regards to me, but that might have been from early. He might have been responding to something I said earlier.
He just put that up. Dean from DNA Crow says hi. So Will, Blood and Bullets, Supernatural Western.
Yes. Monty Michael Moore.
I know that name. I don't know why.
Oh, Jazz, tell him I said hi. I hope he's doing well.
You should. He is one of the most amazing artists in the last 20 years.
Okay.
He was the first cover artist for Helena Volume 1.
I'm looking him up.
I'll be right back, RJ.
All right. Yeah. Oh, he does some good work. I don't think I bought any of these comics, but that doesn't mean anything. So yeah. Oh, Loco Hero, Cover Up, Art Attack, Menagerie.
Yep. Loco Hero is up for Ringo Awards this year.
Cool. Yeah, he does some nice work. He does some nice pinup stuff.
Oh yeah. Some beautiful work. He is not a he is not a interior artist. He does the covers and he does designs and
yeah, there's people who like
everything. Yeah. So so I jumped on that not too long after he was on the show. This has been my downfall. Although, I am like, holding my head down in Shameville. I was like, oh, so how many did you back? And you read off like 37 pages, and I'm like, oh, I got one page and a couple of Indiegogos. So after that, I have the most money I've ever spent on a crowdfunder in my life.
Yeah, I saw that. I was waiting for you to explain this one, but it's another vinyl record, so I approve.
Okay, so and I wanted to buy more, but there were a lot of people that wanted key comics that I was selling out of my collection. But it was a case of no matter what genre they were, everybody wanted them, but nobody actually wanted to pay for anything.
Yeah, of course not.
So I was just like, I must have blocked like 37 people in a month from like sales. I'm like, go away. I go, you asked me for this, and this, and I came up with this, and this, and I shot you a good price. And you're like, well, do you have this, and this? I'm like, oh, get out of here. All the people that want 72 pictures of a book, and out of the 72 pictures, 60 of them are all pictures of the spine. I'm like, look, if you're that concerned about it, I can just get it graded myself and then charge you the price it's worth once it's in a coffin.
Yeah, but you won't be able to read it.
Nope. Well, they don't care about reading it. They just, they're obsessed with the speculation and the money. So, Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturnia. This is Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon. So they've got one world, two different times, but they both got their worlds going, and they came and collided with each other.
Okay.
And they would launch them together. And so what has happened here is the first time I encountered them was early on in my YouTube podcast career. And I had them on a show called Off the Rails. And it was definitely off the rails because they were on, Pops was on, Christy Shin was on, Chuck Pinot was on, and a whole bunch of other people. And just from those names that I mentioned, the title Off the Rails should make complete sense now.
Yes.
But and I heard all about their Kickstarter at that point, which did tremendously. But I didn't have any money. This time around,
You had money,
Stimulus.
I had some money.
so you stimulated them.
Yes, but not in that way.
You didn't know what they did with your money.
Well, they can do with that afterwards. I did the catch-up tier. So the book that this is for is like a one-issue combination. But I haven't read anything. It goes, this is a one-shot. You don't need to read anything. I go, no, you don't understand. I need to read everything. Not like somebody else on this stream. I don't need to go back to 1932, but I want to know what has happened before. So I got Matt's trade, which is close to 400 pages, and I got Steph's trade, which is about 228 pages. And of course, Matt's goes with an album, and there's a story behind this why I backed it for so much. A good friend of his who he had played with in bands multiple times had come down, and they had met up in Florida at the studio, and their friend had laid down his guitar tracks for this album. And 11 days later, lost his life. Somebody ran a traffic light and killed this kid.
Wow.
So one of the things they did is they commissioned a cover of this one shot to be an image of the guitarist who lost his life sitting on the Game of Thrones throne, except instead of swords, it was made up of all the guitars he had played and owned.
That'd be a very cool image.
And the money from this issue, like the majority of the money from this issue, like all the profit from that issue is going directly to the family.
It's a very good cause, very good reason to back that one. I hope that one did phenomenally well. I wish I'd heard of that at the time.
Also, I had to buy the album, one, because I was going to buy it anyhow, and two, because it was the last guitar tracks this dude laid down. And it's splatter vinyl.
So that's the second time you've used that term. So what's splatter vinyl?
Splatter vinyl is a unique process where it basically like a paint splatter, like an artist would do like on an image on a wall, but it's done on vinyl, except it's done a lot differently because it is on vinyl. So it's like powder and liquid mixed together. So all of them basically look close to the same, but each one is completely different. Kind of like there's no two snowflakes alike.
Oh, I gotcha.
There's no two splatter vinyls alike, even if they're used with the same colors, because they're each made individually.
Wow. So it's like a tie-dyed record.
Yeah, it's a tie-dyed record. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Okay, I gotcha.
So I have the two trades. I have a regular issue to read. I have the homage issue to the guitarist. I have I did like 3 add-ons. One was the homage issue. One was the coin. Kind of like the Lady Death coins.
Okay, yeah.
but it was for the heirs of Isildur. It was the heirs of Isildur coin, and the third was the vinyl album.
Yeah, well, I mean, with everything going to the family, buy it all up. Add on everything.
I did. They actually had leather turntable mats, glow in the dark, and because I couldn't get anybody to actually give me money for key comics that I was selling, I couldn't buy those. But
Gotcha.
I was hoping from them. The next is The Jump, issues 1 and 2 from Ringo Award winner Ryland Grant.
Hey!
I bought the first one digitally because, well, I was short on money, but I wanted to read it. And it also got me a couple of other books that he had done prior that I never got the chance to read, so I wanted to read them, so I got digital copies of those. This time around, I yet again had the money, so boom. And I got to pick the covers I wanted, so I was more than happy. I forget the cover I picked for number 1, but the cover I picked for number 2 was a Mandalorian homage, because how could you not? And I got them both signed because Ryland never leaves the West Coast. I never leave the East Coast. And, well, that's that. So, and he's got a new book that's coming out from Source Point Press in August, and it's up for pre-order in the Diamond catalog right now. So then I have Tales from Kara Prime, which is Brian Silverback's, and I got the add-on because I didn't get his first Kickstarter, which was kind of like just a who's who of Kara Prime book,
A world building book.
Yeah, so I got the world building book, and then I've got this big anthology that's coming out with it.
I'm getting that next one. I haven't backed it yet, but I'm going to.
I backed this one and never got it.
It's still funding, I think, on Indiegogo.
Yeah, I know. I backed it on the
original. Wait.
the-
This is because the Indiegogo one is like he's selling off the extras. He's not funding it. Number 1's done. You should reach out to Richard and let him know this.
Yeah, well, he knows. We're just trying to figure out
Where it went.
Where it went and what to do. I had originally just backed the hardcover, but when it came down to it, we wanted to make him shave his head.
And he did shave his head.
Yes, he did. And a bunch of us either that hadn't backed before did whatever we could to back it, or like myself and Lunchbox Warren, we upped our pledges. And apparently everybody but myself got their books.
Yeah. Well.
So we're trying to work something out. So I had originally just gotten the hardcover, and then I upped it to the hardcover, the paperback, and the print.
And it obviously says it right there that you did. So it went through.
Yep. Plus, everybody that went out of their way to help him get his first book done, like Pops and a bunch of other people and myself.
Yeah.
He will be sending original art pages from number 1 too.
Very cool. Now go ahead and click your more pledges button because you got more stuff that didn't load.
Oh, bloody hell.
You've been at it for a while.
So one last job from Aaron. I got this one just because I thought it looked like so cool. And I'd had him on the show a few times, and I hadn't backed anything yet. And this one just was like, yeah, that's that's something that I would really like to read. So
You got a good price on it.
yeah, well, that was kind of like I did one add-on, but I forget what the add-on even was, but
Shoot, with an add-on, you still got it for $17.
yeah, and it was free shipping in the U.S. So I'm like,
Wow.
yeah,
Take it.
The next one is one that I could not turn down as a Batman fan, which is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, the game.
Yeah, games are where it's at. I mean, these Kickstarters for comics and these Indiegogos for comics, we're seeing them. Seeing things get into 4 figures. We're seeing things get into 5 figures. You start looking at some of these Kickstarter board games out there. There's a lot of 6-figure games out there being tossed around. That's a big market.
Oh yeah, this thing hit into the mills.
Oh geez,
literally. You could pay and get this for like $60, and you would get the old 1970s little plastic thing with the slot in it and a cardboard figure to put in it. Or for another $40, you would get the super duper awesome friggin' pewter figures.
like a Monopoly piece.
No, like full blown, like 40K minis.
Oh, okay.
Which would give you like the deluxe set. And I'm like, okay, doing it, done. Yeah, did that, and that'll be here for Christmas. So yay. Maybe my house will be clean by then, so I can actually, play this game with my daughter and a couple of friends on the table.
Mike, no. Don't
RJ,
Mike.
you kind of slipped out there for a moment.
I'm still here.
Huh?
I'm still here.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you saw though, your screen kind of went black, and then the little circle started going for a moment there.
Didn't to me. Must be on. Maybe it was on your end.
Yeah.
Then I got Swords of Solace: The Legend of the Ronin Assassin, which is the 3rd part. And I bought the sketchbook edition for all 3. I love the series. The artist was phenomenal. And we're still waiting for this to show. They had all kinds of problems because of COVID. The writer is in Alaska and the artist is in Turkey, so there were
quite a commute.
There were some issues going on. Belial 1 and 2 from Chuck Pinot. Digital, I got those in. Tilt 1 to 3, I already got these in. Digital.
As you say, it must be digital for $11 for 3 comics.
Yeah. Trouble with Love for $1.
What did you do? Just tip them?
No. He ran a special where he would give you this one-shot issue digitally for $1 with a digital print. I actually didn't get that, but I figured it's $1. I really don't care. And then these, I got all these. Brian Polito's newest Lady Death Blasphemy Anthem 1, $26. Homage cover. The Crew #1 homage cover, and Scorched Earth 1 Sworn homage edition. I got both of those. One of those was a Detective 27 homage. So
nice, very nice.
That's how he suckered me back in. I'm like,
he appealed to your Batman collector.
Yeah, I didn't want to buy any Lady Death stuff. But then he suckered me in, and I was like, Then he suckered me right back out because my daughter was there when I was opening the second package. And apparently he thought it was a great idea to put late death condoms in. And I'm like,
why?
No.
Why? I mean, you know, I've seen people.
I'm like, one, Brian, you're way too late. And two, you could have put like a warning sticker on the outside of the package or something. There might be a few things in here that are.
Oh man, that's quite the list. You got you're. You know,
it's not an RJ list, but you know, and a whole bunch of that stuff has already been delivered. So
cool. All right, well, guys, we've been at it for 2 hours and 15 minutes here, and it's been it's been a wild ride. It's been
it's been interesting.
Hey, RJ, I know you wanting to end the stream. Can I still talk to you in private after for a couple minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
right. Well, guys, it's been fun. Thank you everybody for showing up tonight on the open mic night. Folks in the chat, we do appreciate you being here. And like I said, we never have a show unless you're here to watch it. So as always, we just hope you had a blast.